Hello? I'm kind of sad after doing that. I don't know if I can do my presentation. My name is Kunal Parikh. I'm a PhD student here at Johns Hopkins in the Biomedical Engineering Department. Before I begin, I'd like to thank Andrea and Lee and Dr. Teriguchi. I'm incredibly humbled to have the opportunity to speak with all of you today regarding my path, defining purpose, defining my path, and some takeaways that I received on the way that will hopefully help anyone else who's on that same mission. And so first, I think it's important to identify why it's important to find your mission. Why is it important to find that passion, to find that purpose? And if you really think about it, if you think about the greats, people who we look up to, people who have left lasting impacts upon generation after generation, think Mother Teresa, think Albert Einstein, even Michael Jordan. They weren't great just because they were that much more talented than anyone else. They were great because those talents were focused and they were driven by a supreme mission. This is what allowed them to work day and night, mastering their craft, to stay up at night, wondering the complexities of the universe, or creating fictitious enemies to further motivate themselves. There was that work-life balance. There was work was life, and life was work. There was a complete integration. And so, I think that's something that we should all strive for, is to be great. And so, to those of you out there in the audience, incredibly talented people, I'd say, if you haven't found your passion, if you haven't found your purpose, you should be doing everything in your power to find it. And so, a little bit about kind of my own path to trying to find that. So I grew up in Columbus, Ohio, not to a very well-to-do family, and so for a kid that's always kind of tough. But whenever my family did have money, they had their priorities straight, and so we would take trips to India and visit our family, those kind of things. And that's when I really learned what it really meant to not grow up with very much. To see people my own age have to scavenge for food or not have any clothes to wear. And those experiences had a lasting impact on everything I've done since then. And so, so much so that when I graduated high school, I actually wanted to become a monk. And so I wanted to, renounce, this world and live a life of austerity and penance. And so, after I graduated, I took a trip to India. I visited some monasteries. I spoke with these monks for hours. And what we decided, what the outcome was in the end, was that, maybe it wasn't the right time for me to make that kind of permanent decision to live that kind of life for the rest of my life. And so, I said, okay, I didn't really understand too much then, but I said, okay, if I'm in this real world, what should my purpose be? And it's very often that someone will tell you your purpose and you can get it just like that. And I still remember to this day very clearly in broken English, he told me, your purpose should be to serve others and nothing else. And that stayed with me since then. And so since that point, I've been trying to find what is that path that will allow me to achieve this purpose. And so, initially I thought that was research. And so I was working, 60 plus hours in the lab, trying to hopefully develop something that can help somebody. And the more I immerse myself in it, though, the more I realize that there's all these external factors, whether it's business or politics or economics, that can limit the impact of my research and what I can do to help others. And so that led me down other paths. So I worked in policy. I worked in the Ohio State House, worked on some political campaigns. I became a social entrepreneur. I started a foundation to raise money, raise awareness for local nonprofits in Columbus. This past year, I started 3 for-profit companies, sleeping 2 hours a night for the same purpose, and I was still trying to find that. And how was I going to do this? And in the end, after all that toil, I was sad I hadn't found it. I really hadn't found that path to get me to where I wanted to go. But in the end, I had found what I believe is my ultimate purpose. And so I truly believe that, for personally, no person should be limited by the circumstances of their birth. And so I know now that my life's work will be to make that a reality. And so just like a little bit on the takeaways that I've gotten from my long and winding journey that help any of you who are on that same journey. And so number one is have experiences, say yes to things, go on trips, get outside of your comfort zone. I used to have a great professor who used to say, don't buy things, don't buy possessions, you should buy experiences. And it doesn't matter whether they're good or bad. What's important is that you're cognizant of their impact on you and your emotions. Number 2 is work hard. And so, very simply, I think this is the easiest way to find out whether you found your passion, whether you found your purpose. And I'm not talking 9 to 5 and then go on and do something else. Truly immerse yourself in whatever it is that you're doing. And if you can't do that day after day, month after month, then you haven't found your passion, you haven't found that purpose. And if you haven't, that's good to know. That's great. Just move on to the next thing. Don't waste your time doing something that you don't want to do. And number 3, which might be one of the most important things, is ignore money. Just forget about it. If you really found your passion, if you really found your purpose, I give you $1 million and you wouldn't budge an inch. You would stay right there and keep working on that same mission, on that same path. Money should never be the end goal. It might be something that validates the importance of your work or shows you that you're fulfilling a need, but it should never be the sole purpose of what you're doing. And the last one is one that was very impactful for me this past year, is, find mentors, like Dr. Hopkins said. I was fortunate enough to find one who told me, hey, Kunal, it's great that you want to help people, but that's not good enough. And I looked at it for a couple of seconds, I want to help people, right? And he said, what you really need to do is define exactly what it is that you want to do. Define an achievable goal, make it more specific. What is it that really gets to you? And that's what really took me to the next level in terms of my understanding of where I need to be and where I need to go. And so, it's all for the same purpose. And so, at Hopkins, you have these great people here. You have great mentors. Find them, find confidants, people who will challenge you, people that will tell you things that you don't want to tell yourself. And I think in the end, it's for the same purpose. So you want to live a meaningful life. You want to find the things that you want to do. And if you want to be successful, you want to find the things that only you can do. And so, thank you all for listening to me today. I wish you the best of luck on your own journey to find your own passion. Thank you for listening.